Welcome back, stock smart people and think scripters. So, let's check out Tesla here. And it looks like it's hit another one of our support lines, nice and good. Bounced on it. Let's pull that out on the daily, see what's happened here. Okay, cool. And we got a couple lines drawn here and a couple zones kind of built across, but one of the biggest things we look for buying opportunities is when these two don't agree with each other. And then price blows up. So we'll be watching for that. And it looks like they're not agreeing at the moment, so we could be finding that particular bottom. It's going to be a good thing. And of course on the weekly, what do we have? A big 1, 2, hammer up. 1, 2, 3 up, 1 up. The pullbacks over time aren't terrible. So but it is coming overhead. So on the weekly, if this TEMA keeps going, I mean that could be bad news. It sure could. Okay, now short term, we could find a way to trade it. No problem. Okay, as we hover around this line here, we'll see what our next move is. And we'll check Palantir, which had a similar chart, but it dropped a little bit lower, so maybe that's exactly what Tesla's going to do. Keep on going. Had a bit of this disagreement. Okay. Let's pull up our chart here. Now, Baidu is one I know that Kathy Woods bought. And it's starting to scoop up on the TEMA, so we may want to jump in on this come Monday morning. That might be the way up. Okay, looks like, what's this? JP Morgan? Okay, what do they look like? Okay, these biggest disagreements is here, the lows, and then price blows up. Of course, the disagreements, let's see, is about here where our low is. Let's see what happens when we get our trend period up and our noise starts to come back down and goes back up with us in the proper direction, like this. Okay, let's pull that out to the daily. And I can see this pulling back just the same way everything else did, so. And this TEMA is on a 21 period, if anybody is wondering. I've got that, of course it's in here, it says 10, but on the outside I've got it adjusted 21. And we can adjust that. Oh, see, you can't adjust it inside. You have to adjust it outside. Why can't I just alter the code? I know, because it's locked. Okay. And that looks about like JP Morgan. SOS, definitely SOS. OCGN. It's an interesting little doji. I wonder if that's a harami in yeah. Okay. And we can see the way this trades too. And here was our big bottom when we had the big bubble right here. So I'd love a way to be able to program to capture inside this bubble to make a cloud. And I've designed another indicator with this. But it's not quite anything to brag about yet. It works, though. While that populates there, we can see when price gets way under here. And we see the buying pressure. So let's see what happens at this time. When things come down, we see our buying pressure take over. Little doji, price closes above the TEMA line, and that's a good entry. And it looks like now we're starting to see lots of recovery in the market. Lots of stocks are going to go green. And many of these that are red are probably set to go green. Let's see how AMD did. Okay, so they're set to fall just a little bit more. Looks like they're just starting their disagreements period, so many of these charts are looking very, very similar, so that's something we can take advantage of. And not saying they'll all do the same thing, but many of them will, and we can predict the short and the reverse and whatnot, and then they'll start to go their separate directions. But when these big corrections happen, look all over the charts and you'll see many similar things. And some of them will be slightly ahead, some of them will be behind, but they'll all look about the same. And that's where you can start developing a plan. Here we go. There's some stocks above the Bollinger Band midline. Looks like AMC. Okay. And AAPL, that's one that I wanted to look at. And we've got that one charted out here. And see, it's just starting its bit of a little disagreements period too. Where the indicators make this bubble that I like to see. So, keep watching. The bottom's coming. Some of it's already hit. They've already done this period and they're gone. They're done with it. But see, this one's still in its downtime too. And let's check out the horse. Yep, same deal. Crashy, crashy. I'll be lucky if that doesn't hit $12. I think when I looked at it, months and months and months ago, and looked into the TPO, there were huge gaps there. And yeah, see, and there's no wonder it's crashing down to this gap. And I said it was going to crash down to here, and it did. And that's just because there was no support there. So, everyone bought in up here, and then they made their money here. So either they took out their initial and let the rest ride, or, so this big gap here, once it falls through this, boom, it's flat on its face at, $3.83, back to Pennyland, baby, completing this head and shoulders or a 4-point, type of thing. Kind of looks like a castle, or more particularly a tulip pattern. And you can see this is up still, so we've still got some movement downwards. It is not over for the workhorse people. They better hold on to their britches because it's fallen. And that's not what I'm saying. That's what the chart is saying. And look, when the chart says it's fallen, it's fallen. I mean, it's not anything we can do about it. The trend is done. So, and now that the trend is done, people are done with it. Sure, they're going to appeal, but that's not going to get them back up into this zone to the support that they need at $19. you know, and then back up here to the support they need at $30 just to hit another high again. You know, I mean, right here at 23.04, it becomes easier and easier to push it up, but that's not the case here now. You know, let it fall through this level and she's toasted. And I'm sure that's why Kathy Woods tried to hold it up, but I mean, look. Here, here, here. I mean, these are, you know, levels of support built all the way up, and Workhorse just doesn't have it. It has a huge gap. You know, let's go and check out Tesla's, you know, TPO. Okay, check it out. Here, 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 here. It has levels of support built up. When it falls through one, you know, the next one becomes compromised and so on, and of course in the same way back up. You know, let's check out Neo. Okay, big gap right here. You know, that's not cool. If it falls through this gap right here at this, you know, say 36.51 level, it'll drop all the way down to 31. And if it can't hold this support here with these tiny little, you know, amount of bulk retail investors, you know, it'll fall down to here to 24, and then back down to here to 15, and then back down to here to 10.22, and then back down to here to 5.47. I mean, everyone's invested all the way up here at this $45 level. If it doesn't hold, and it doesn't bounce from here at the $50 level up, those people are out. I mean, that's the mass right there. And it looks like it's got some falling left to do. So that's probably going to take it down to here. You know, it's she's not done yet. It's going to, if it can hold here, these people hold. They're good. These people sell. This is your next level. 1833. That's your next bottom. Okay. Ehang. Oh, wow, yeah. Now, this was one that was a good play. It was. We made some money on Ehang. You know, yes, we did. But Ehang was best a short. You know, we can see this. And a short all the way to here is where it is. So, all the way down to the $25 level is where she might get to bounce and settle before it's all said and done. But don't quote me on it. Just that's what's at risk. Okay, wonderful to see that it's, you know, possibly going to go bullish. You know, on the daily chart, it doesn't look so great. The 4-hour chart, we're settling down just back above the TEMA. Same deal with the, you know, Tesla. It had a similar chart as well, but I wouldn't trust it. That's just buying back the shorts, taking a little bit of profit, and downward it goes. So, you know, what goes up must come down. Here's a big gap. Okay. And let's check out our Darvish signals before we sign off and post our video. And of course, always comment down below any tickers you might want me to cover. And subscribe and come over to the Facebook Stock Smart group. And let me know what you guys think about the, you know, little intros and stuff that I make. Some of them are, I'm just playing around with green screen effects and things like that, but yeah, it does take a good bit of effort. It's kind of fun, and you get to be a little bit of creative with it. And you see here, you get your buying power back. Buying, okay. See, your trend noise is going to come down and quiet down. It's going to come back up. It'll settle off, and hopefully, boom, shoot up. So once it gets up to around right here, this 403, whatever this is, live X, once it gets up here to around this 403, it can have an easier time climbing back up. So now there was one idex. Now idex was one, and see, it's had this big disagreement period or divergence time. And once that's over, we're going to see a huge blast off, and it's almost ready to go. So, you know, when we see that reverse in trend, okay, when we saw this reverse in trend, that was a clear shorting signal. But we see this type of reversal in trend, that's a buy signal. Okay, so we will be looking for that. And we see this and a buy here, and the trend noise is with us. That's a good sign, even on the 4-hour. So unfortunately, it's just bear season, and that's just the way it is. So what were we going to pull up here? Yeah, I saw that. I said I need a little bit more information. Okay. Trend periods. Alright, well, we'll keep on going. Now this is on the 4-hour where these breakouts are true, okay? So look, buying power. Alright. And I like to say when a 21 period moving average or something like that strikes a green candle, that's a typical indication of the trend, as you can see here and here and in here and many other places. So well, when it strikes right on through a green candle or so on, that's typically a green, a positive sign for green trend, especially a doji, and then price closing above it. Some people would wait for that. So I do have a scan where price, crosses above the, TEMA line on the close, but it'll catch these really steep runs, but it stops catching them around here. So you lose it here. You only have this chance to get in. And see here, you would have only got it here or here. You'd have lost the rest of the top. So you would have gotten in here, though, just fine, and boom, popped off with you. And see, here are these big divergence times that I talk about, those big bubbles, and then boom, price blasts off. A little bit of a, you kind of don't see it coming, and it does a little bit of a blitz on you. Boom, out of the other direction. Never saw it coming. Okay, and what do we have on our daily? That was the 4-hour list, so that's going to be ones that are probably good for, the opening. Oh, wonderful. Etsy, lovely. LMAT, SEM, SLCA, NUVA, AFI, ELOX, and MBI. All right, see, these look good. The disagreeance time is over, and now we're going to start seeing a new trend form. Social sentiment looks like it's going up. Excellent. Okay, and it's not all of them will have social sentiment, but all of these look like they're about to start doing good things. So now we did miss the up times here on the 4-hour charts with U.S. Silica here. That was a good chart. That I wonder why we didn't find that one when trend quality was up like this. So we need to make our scans a little bit more basic, and we'll probably find simpler things. Okay, that's good. Price above the TEMA, it took off, started to recover. Buying pressure happened. Disagreeance bubble that I like to call it, and then boom, price took off. The bubble was over, boom, price took off. Okay, so I'm going to say this is probably going to come back down for short term. And we got this AFI here. It's about over for its run. ELOX, its run might be over too. And MIBI, let's see. Yeah, its run might be over, but think about all the things that we saw that were only halfway through this run. That means this run is coming, all right? So let's prepare ourselves for that on certain stocks. You know what I mean? Certain stocks. You know what I mean? Certain stocks. It may only be a short-term trend, but we know that it is a good trend. Now, this one happened, and now a bigger disagreement is happening. So let's wait for this to be over. Drop back down. It'll probably spike back down, jump back up real quick, so it'll look like this. It'll look like this. But it'll happen. Now, in Apple, it's not over yet, so we can't, it can keep playing this line here, but we still need to turn green. Okay, and what else? Let's say the horse. Okay, the horse started buying pressure. That's good. Close above the TEMA. Wonderful. All right, let's get that positive action coming in there. Action Jackson. All right. And we can go Fisker, the Fisker company. Now that is a great stock. Yeah, here's our little disagreements time here. A little bit more. Price blew up after that. Here was another little one. Here was another little one. You know, and look how big that little one was real quick. And then boom, price really blew up. So when it looks like the bigger the trend noise, the bigger the explosion. Okay. Yeah, but this one's about hit its top here. So if anything, that's not something we want to play with just yet. Wait for that to come back down. It's probably going to come back down here to around the 1785, 1793 level. Wait for it to settle. I'm going to say if it drops below this 1816, that's when I'll mess with it. That's when, you know, at or below, cool. That's when I'll look at it. Other than that, it's way overvalued for what it is. Okay, and Li Auto. Let's check out that one. Okay, one of these times here, wonderful. Price blew up, you know, a little bit afterwards, but we got some green coming along. Some buying powers coming in. Okay, there it looks like we might hold that support right there. If it holds through this support right through here, then we could see a run up to this $36 level would be a very comfortable place to sit. And I wouldn't say take your profit, I would say sit. I would say take your profit up here in the $40 level where less people are at. So take your profit up here at the 40 for Li Auto, but if we get up here to the $36 level, buy it till it hits 40.98, because that you know, that looks like about where the top line is right there. So, you know, at least on the TPO, you know, that's where, you know, you shouldn't have bought in above that. If you did, you know, you need to sell out and get back in at a lower price. Or if you shorted from there, which these are probably shorts. They're probably shorting the market, waiting to buy it back, which will bring the price back up anyway. So, wonder-filled. Let's see what else. One more. Let's do one more. Okay, we'll do the CMO less than 35 on the daily, and look, we got Aapl and THRR. So these are ones that are going to be on their biggest, deepest pullbacks, and they're going to be ready for their reversals anytime. And I wish I would have bought the Aapl down here at the 116 and along this level, but that's okay. This is still cheap. And Aapl grows 10% year over year over year, if not just a little bit more than that. So if you bought Aapl now and held it, it will grow, you know, at least 10%. You know, you'll be 10% up by next year. And of course, once that compounds year over year, blah, 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 once Aapl becomes a $1,000 stock and it compounds 10% a year, you'll be happy to make $100 a year on a stock that you just sit on. But anyhow. And here we go. Of course, this is an OTC, and it looks like a nothing stock, so I don't even want to, we're not even going to play in this ground, but it looks exactly the same as every other market. So as this will start to recover, so will the market. So this is an extremely cheap stock that when things do start to turn around, you might see some 0.05, yeah, anyhow. I'd rather trade Aapl. So, but I think that'll do it. You know, thanks for watching, and you know, happy trading. Everybody get out there and make some money.